Alrighty, welcome to Modern Horizons 3 draft here on Arena. I like to switch things up. We got a Magic Online draft earlier this week, and now we're back on Arena. And as always, let me know in the comments kind of what you prefer to see. Can't please everyone, but I at least can make everyone a little bit unhappy. No. In any case, what are we taking first here? It's going to be Annoyed Altasaur. This card is awesome. 7 mana for a 6/5 reach trample, and it plays a card off the top of your deck, hopefully a 5 mana card. There's also Plantar Genesis and Snapping Voidcraw, and Eldrazi is the best deck, so it's unfortunate because I do love the Voidcraw, but man, I really like Altasaur. That said, maybe I should just take the Voidcraw. There are a lot of 7s in the set. You know what? I'm just going to do that. I'm just going to take Snapping Voidcraw. I just have found this card to be so good. Well, I almost followed up with an Invert Polarity here. I think this card is worth splashing. It is a very strong card, and the next best card is like a fetch land maybe, so seems like a pretty easy invert. Followed up with, a Territory Color. We're in the right spot. This card is great. 5 mana 7/5 Devoid, Reach, and a lot of the Eldrazi's have Reach, which makes it a lot harder for the Flyers decks to kill them. It also has Landfall. You get to reveal your top card if it's a creature put in your... you look at your top card if it's a creature put in your hand. Otherwise, you can put it on the top or in your graveyard. So, very good card, and very happy taking that. Following that up with probably just Sage of the Unknowable. 2 mana 0/4 that taps for a colorless, but you can only use it to cast Eldrazi, basically. That's totally fine. The Eldrazi decks want 2-drops. Skittering Precursor is an Eldrazi uncommon, but it's not actually that good in the Eldrazi decks. I found it's more like a black-red sacrifice sort of thing, and I don't really care much for Strength of the Harvest. Voltstorm Angel is good if you're an energy, but we're very much not doing that. So I'm happy enough just taking Sage of the Unknowable here and seeing if we can pick up some nice Eldrazi. Interesting. And here we have a Colossal Dread Mask. So that's 6 mana for a 6/6 trample. And it's a Germ with that equipment. And then you can equip it for 5. There's a blue-black land. Don't care much for that. Is it Generatorium is great if you're an energy, which I'm not currently. A blue-red fetch and a Demon Inferior. And a blue-green fetch, but I think I'll take the blue-red fetch. I do want to splash invert, and I like red fetches in the blue-green deck, like red-blue or red-green, because you want to play like 1 or 2 mountains, plus some fetch lands, and a lot of islands and forests. I think I'm happy enough taking Seething Landscape here, and kind of setting up being a 3-color deck, which is what I find the Eldrazi decks end up being a lot of the time. Oh, and there we go. There's not only Malevolent Rumble, one of the better commons, also Drownyard Lurker and Warped Tusker. And I think, given where I'm at, I should take the Warped Tusker. I think Rumble is fantastic, but I already have a 2-drop Accelerant and a 3-drop, so I think just taking one of the 7s is going to be good. And then here, a Glaring Fleshraker, 2 and a colorless to cast. It's a little hard to cast, but it's a 2/2. Whenever you cast a colorless spell, you get an Eldrazi spawn, and whenever you get a colorless creature, boom, it pings your opponent for 1. Looks great here. Twisted Landscape is also good, but picking up that Glaring Fleshraker 7th and then just trying to take as many colorless cards as possible. Oh, another Warped Tusker. I'm in. Over Twisted Landscape again. And a red-green fetch is something I'm interested in, but Warped Tusker is exactly what this deck wants. Oh, and then now we wield Plantar Genesis. I mean, this card is very good. You play this on turn 2, you get to ramp, and then later in the game, you just use it as Impulse. So I'll pass a 3rd red-green land and another Demon Inferior, but I felt like I've done a good job mixing my 2-drop Accelerants and the later cards, and look now, I picked up a red-green fetch. That's perfect. So I even have none of the tri-lands. I don't have any of the bountiful landscapes. I'm actually starting to learn all 10 names. But having Seething and Sheltering Landscape, so blue-red and red-green, and another blue-red, perfect. I didn't have to spend early picks on those. People are sleeping on these a little. The fetch lands are really strong. Like, they're good for landfall. They're good for fixing your mana. You can even cycle them, but that doesn't happen too often. I'll take a Shapeshifter just to cut Eldrazi cards, and then, a free Demon Inferior. Sure. Why not? I don't think I'm going to count on main decking it. Well, I'm playing best of 1, so I guess I just won't be playing it probably. I find that with cards like Territory Color and Rumble of the Malevolent, you don't want that many non-permanents, and the Eldrazi decks don't need that much in terms of interaction, which is why a Petrifying Meddler, the 4 and a blue 4/5 reach that taps something down for a turn, it's really important. So I haven't seen any of those yet, but if I do, I will be sure to pick them up. because you want your interaction to be in Eldrazi form. Because look, when you have cards like Glaring Fleshraker and Territory Color and like Sage of the Unknowable, you just want as many of your cards doing the thing. Oh, speaking of which, Twisted Riddlekeeper. This is how you interact. 8 mana, 5/5, flying. It taps 2 permanents, not even creatures, and stuns them, and it has Emerge, and it's a 5/5. It's just great. So I'll take that, pass a Bountiful Landscape and a Malevolent Rumble. Here, less happy about this pack. There's a blue-green land, which is like okay, but given that I picked up some late fetch lands, I'm not really feeling like I'm too short there. I might just take Sink into Stupor. It bounces a spell or non-land permanent, or it's a land, and you can pay 3 life to make it untapped even. I think that's a way to get interaction in without costing too many deck slots. Oh, a second Invert. Great. I'll just take a second one of these, and I'll just, take my fixing such that I can cast them, because Invert is just unbelievably good. 2 fetch lands in that pack too, which will be helpful at casting Inverts. Well, hopefully getting the right mana, though I guess the colorless mana doesn't really help much. Still, if you just invert a spell and you win the flip, you just win the game. I think the card is quite underrated right now. All right, and here, Volatile Stormdrake is a kind of nice energy card, but we're not doing energy. Bountiful Landscape is my 3 colors, and there's also another Sage of the Unknowable, but I have Sage, Planar Genesis, Voidcraw. I kind of feel like I could just take the Bountiful Landscape here. Maybe people are taking fetches too late, or like they're passing them so often that maybe I'm supposed to just take Sage because I'm getting the fetches for free, but a tri-land fetch is really nice. Like, getting to get all 3 of my colors is pretty important if I'm trying to play these inverts. Oh, another Snapping Voidcraw. Well, that's just game. I mean, Solar Transformer is good, but Voidcraw is just amazing. There's also a Bloodstained Mire here, though I guess that doesn't actually help me a whole lot. And now I've got some good ramp for these 7s and 8s. Picking up here, Emrakul's Messenger, despite being an Eldrazi, isn't actually for the Eldrazi deck so much. It's a 2-mana 2/1 flyer. Whenever you draw your second card in a turn, you get an Eldrazi spawn. I guess I can cycle the Warp Tuskers. Yeah, that's probably good enough. I was looking at Suppression Ray as well, but I feel like this deck is not the one that's going to need Suppression Ray all that much. Ooh, a second Fleshraker, a second Lurker. I think I take the Fleshraker, because I've got a lot of Eldrazi spells and a lot of colorless sources. I think that the upside on that one is higher. Oh, there's Petrifying Meddler, 8th pick. Passing up another Malevolent Rumble, but I think the Meddler is just too important. And I have double Voidcraw, and a Sage here, so I feel like and Planar Genesis, I feel like I have some good ramp options already. All right, and with double Glaring Fleshraker, really these inverts are going to be, and maybe this Planar Genesis and the Sage are going to be about the only non-colorless spells I want. I don't want very many more spells or cards that are not colorless, because I just want all my things to trigger the Glaring Fleshraker. All right, there's a Rumble and a Bountiful Landscape and a Sage. I mean, Eldrazi's open. It's the best deck. This is great. I'll take the Rumble. I think Rumble is very good. It isn't a colorless card, unfortunately, so it doesn't actually work with those, but that's fine. Oh, and I'll take Foreboding Landscape. And now I'm basically set on fetches. I have 5. That seems like we're doing all right. I mean, I would play another 1 or 2 if I got them, but they're no longer high priorities, really. And a blue-red fetch, sure. Yeah, all right. So now I have 3 blue-red fetches, a red-green fetch, a blue-green fetch, and a tri-fetch. All right, perfect. Well, I got the Sage back, so I could say we're pretty much set there. And I guess, given that I've taken... Here, I'll take Ether Spike. I don't think I'm going to main it. Given that I've taken so many lands, I need a fair amount of playables out of this pack, but I mean, if you have to put a Demon Fear in your deck, obviously totally fine. What do we got? Any action? Oh, yes, we have action. The best common, better than even most of the uncommons and rares. Like, this card is absurd. Writhing Chrysalis is 4 mana for like a 4/5 that makes 2 Lotus Petals that also grows off your other Eldrazi. Unbelievable card. And it has reach. Why not? So I'm slamming Writhing Chrysalis here, and I don't think it's particularly close. Card is awesome. There's another Voidcraw, another Meddler, Idol of the False Gods. I think I just take a second Meddler here. I have a lot of ramp. Double Voidcraw, double Sage, Malevolent Rumble, Planar Genesis, and Meddler is a really good way to not die to their random things. Idol is also good, and I'd probably play it with the double Fleshraker if I wheel it. Bridgeworks Battle's not going to wheel, but it's all right. I'll take Meddler, even if maybe the Meddler would have come back. Who knows? Ooh, Wumpus Aberration, 4 mana, 6/6 trample with no drawback basically, because this deck's always going to have colorless. Yeah, I'll take that. All right. Any more Eldrazi's out there? Yes. A Basking Broodscale or Eldrazi Ravager or an Idol of the False Gods. I think Eldrazi Ravager is what I'm into, given the amount of ramp I have. I have all these Flesh Rakers to make Eldrazi. This will keep coming back. And I'm hoping one of these Idols of the False God wheels. Oh, another Eldrazi Ravager? Sure, I'll take another one. Okay. That was pick 5. And so now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, right now, this is 18 land plus a Sink into Stupor, so probably like one card over. So now I've got plenty of playables. If I need to cut cards, it wouldn't be too hard anyway. And my interaction is going to be the double Invert and double Petrifying Meddler, and that's about it. Don't need much more than that. Oh, sure. Here's a Warped Tusker. All right, I am in. Warped Tusker, pick 6. So now we're set, and everything I add, I have to cut a card for. Well, I'll take another Warped Tusker, I guess. And now I have to cut something. They're basically all Eldrazi, so it's kind of hard to cut. I mean, Emrakul's Messenger is something I could consider cutting, but I kind of don't want to, given that I can cycle these Tuskers and make tokens in with this. Oh, It That Heralds the End is great here. I think that's better than Malevolent Rumble. It's just so good with these Flesh Rakers. Honestly, I might have to cut some Inverts, but Invert is really good. I'll have to look here, but maybe I play 17 land. Or Serum Visionary is great. I don't think I'm that likely to want to play it here. This is 9. How many lands is this again? I have 6. So right now this is those 6 lands plus 9 to get me to 40 is 15. Plus Sink is 16 lands. So I definitely want at least one more. I'll take a Snapping Void Crusher. The card's really good. All right. I'm just going to cut the Inverts and just basically play all Eldrazi. I just don't really think I need those. I don't know. It's tricky, but the thing is, with It That Heralds the End and 2 Glaring Flesh Rakers, like I just can't really cut colorless cards for naught. I guess actually what I could do is I could cut a Sage, because it doesn't actually trigger all the Eldrazi stuff. Oh, never mind. Idol came in. All right, well. This is now, we're pretty much set. And one Idol's perfect. I don't think I wanted 2 of these, but having one of these in this double Flesh Raker deck is probably going to work out. So I just have 20 creatures. So the only non-creatures I have are Malevolent Rumble, Planar Genesis, Idol of the False God, Sink into Stupor, and everything else is a creature. All right. I mean, this is what the Eldrazi decks look like. All right. So let's do this. So right now this is 1 over, but that's with 5, 11, 17 lands plus a Sink. So I think I just cut a land. And let's see, 1, 2, 3, 9 green right now, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 blue, and then 1 mountain is going to be how many I need. I just have the 1 red card. Oh, 9 green, 9 blue, but a Sink, so I can just cut a island. Boom, perfect. Let's get in there. This deck looks great. All right, time for round 1 here. Let's see what my opponent's got besides clutching some sort of blood gem or something. Opponent goes first. All right. Turn 2, Malevolent Rumble. Turn 3, Glaring Flesh Raker. And then we'll go from there. We'll see what's up. Mandibular Kite. That's a good card. Oh, Sink into Stupor. Yeah. I'm just going to play that on turn 1. I feel like if I had 1 more land, I would wait on this. Oh, they played an untapped Pain land. Malevolent Rumble. And actually we'll take the Idol here. It's not the best card against, my opponent's start. They have a pretty fast start, but I can just play Flesh Raker and then all my things will trigger this. So I feel pretty good about that. I mean, they're not beating me down too hard. It'll depend what they play this turn. No plays. Okay. Oh. Snapping Voidcraw. Yeah, let's just play this. I think the Voidcraw is going to be better. Oh, why didn't they play Nightshade? Are they cycling or something? Or do they have a removal spell? Oh, they're casting Endurance. Okay. Special guest here. They should probably put my graveyard back. It's not really like decking is going to matter. And I don't know, I could have graveyard synergies. All right, I'll take some damage here. The Mandibular Kite does mean... Oh, all of these getting in. All right, yeah. Does mean that I have to worry about flyers hitting me later, but I think we're going to have some good turns here. So let's go land. I think I go Glaring Fleshraker and then cast an Idol and then make a token, ping for 1, pass the turn, and then now I can block Endurance with the token and then pay 1, tap, sack, well, 2 to 1 and a colorless plus tap, sack that and sack the token to pay for it that I'm blocking with to make another one. And then this will start going up in counters. All right. I mean, oh, they should definitely attack with the Metastatic Evangel. What is going on there? Okay, sack this for a colorless. Put a counter on this. Make a token. Ping them for 1. I mean, I've taken 8. They've taken 5. Well, they did pay 3 life on their land. All right. And then they're still stuck on 2 lands here. Oh, and they get to proliferate onto the Hydra. Yeah, I mean, oh, It That Heralds the End. This is just getting disgusting. Let's cast It That Heralds the End. And I could cast any of these things, but I think I don't even need to tap something down. Let's just play the Warped Tusker. Yep. And I get to sack an Eldrazi spawn to help pay for it, but it costs 1 less. Fleshraker goes off. Look at this. I'm just going to kill them with the Glaring Fleshraker. It did 1 million damage to them this turn. I'm not going to attack, even though all my spawns are +1/+1 right now. I mean, look, I know my opponent was mana screwed, but this is still a pretty impressive show for my deck, right? I mean, turn 3 Voidcraw into Idol plus Fleshraker into It That Heralds the End plus Warp Tusker. Oh, opponent, come on. They put the new reach symbol. You gotta respect it. I mean, I don't really see a reason not to attack with the Warp Tusker. If they want to trade a Nightshade Druid, then they can't tap it for mana later. Seems fine to me. And this gets another counter. And then I'll cast a Warp Tusker. And I think that's all I'm going to do here. Next turn, that Idol of the False Gods is getting in there. I mean, assuming that there is a next turn. Given that, I guess... I mean, they're also just dead to me playing Meddler and attacking with everything. Because all these spawns are 1/1s, and then end of turn, sack 1, use Idol, make another one. I mean, I think they're just dead on board right now, right? Because I go land, Petrifying Meddler, make a token, tap the Hydra, yeah. Attack with everything, and all right, pretty easy game 1. Let's keep on going. All right, time for round 2. We are battling here with some Eldrazi. I'm on the draw. I'm missing green here, but I can keep this. I have a turn 2 0/4, which means that I get to... Ooh, get out of here. Okay, there we go. I get that to have at least an early blocker and a bit of ramp. Okay, look, like I can go turn 2 Sage, turn 3 Idol plus activate Idol, for example. And they didn't sack their Foreboding Landscape, and they played Birthing Ritual. Oh wow, Glaring Fleshraker. Okay, so I think it's better to go turn, like assuming I don't draw a green, because if I draw a green, I'm just playing the Voidcraw. If I don't draw a green, I think it's better to go Idol plus activate, and then next turn Fleshraker plus activate. I could just play Fleshraker. I guess either way I end up with like 2 tokens, but I think Idol Activate is safer. It gives them less of an opportunity to hit the Fleshraker. So Birthing Ritual is interesting. At the beginning of their end step, if they control a creature, they get to look at the top 7, and then they can sack a creature and put a creature that is exactly X+1 cost of, and X is that creature that's sacrificed into Oma, Queen of Vesuva. Okay. I mean, they put an everything counter on a land, and that doesn't do anything, and everything counter on a creature, and that barely does anything. So they look at their top 7 now. Are they going to sack Omo to put a 4-drop into play? I guess we'll see. I mean, I guess if this works, turn 2 Birthing Ritual, turn 3 you just cash that in for a 4-drop. If you had like a Serum Visionary, that would be even better. You get some good Birthing Pod-esque card advantage here. I mean, I would imagine you would sacrifice if there was a 4-drop there. X or less. So it can also get cashed in for a 3 or 2-drop, though. Obviously, you're not that likely to want to do that. All right. Almost getting sacrificed into a 6, as in of Renin 6 Fame. All right. Well, that card's pretty good. I'm still just going to start getting the idol going here. So they get to attack, mill 3, and then put a land into play from those 3. And then they could also Birthing Ritual later. And they can retrace this. Yeah, there's some powerful stuff going on here. I'm going to block with the Sage. Oh, they're playing this first? Okay. It's kind of odd. I don't know what that really does for you, but... Like, what if you attack and mill a good 4-drop? Wouldn't you rather just play that? So now this is all types. Okay. Milled an Altasaur and a Hydra Trainer, and they got a land to put in hand. Wow. All right. They're kind of doing it here. I'm impressed. All right. Let's see. Assume they don't have anything. End of turn. They're going to Birthing Ritual here. I mean, I can't really imagine they're doing anything else this turn. I would really like to draw a green. Green would help. Okay, I'll let this happen. Oh, maybe one reason to play the Fleshraker this turn. I would have taken an extra 2 damage is a downside, but the upside is that if I draw a green, I could then play Voidcrawl plus Idol. Okay, they're sacking Omo and putting in a Writhing Chrysalis. Wow. Well, they don't get any tokens out of it, so it actually isn't that good. Okay, let's make a token myself. Oh, I guess I have the token off this. So yeah, no, I'll be fine either way. All right, green source. Perfect. So let's go. Yeah, Glaring Fleshraker. And then Snapping Voidcraw. Paying with the Eldrazi spawn and then getting an Eldrazi spawn. And then next turn I can start slamming some Warped Tuskers here. And you know, I think that might overpower what my opponent's doing, but I guess we'll see. They have some good engines going. They're not quite to annoyed Altasaur yet. They could play Hydra Trainer, and I guess they have a bunch of counters on permanence thanks to Omo. That's a thing. That's a thing. And then, all right, Omo's coming back. Guess you want to put the counter on the Foreboding Landscape. Oh, and whenever you sacrifice another Eldrazi, but now with Birthing Ritual, they're all Eldrazi. Oh, look at that. I now block Writhing Chrysalis with, yeah, this is not an Eldrazi land. All right, they milled, they hit a land, and they got deep. They milled Deep Analysis too. Wow, they are really cooking over here. I don't think they're going to beat me just casting a bunch of Warped Tuskers, but you know, it's pretty cool what they're doing. All right, I'll block with the Voidcraw. Don't think I'm too worried about a trick here. Land. And do they play Hydra Trainer? Because if they do, then that gives them a bunch of different options. Oh, do they have like a fight card now? Sure. Oh, Utter Insignificance on the Glaring Fleshraker. Okay. No more of that. For now. I could sink... Oh, no, I can't sink into Stupor my own Fleshraker. All right. They missed on that. Oh, another one. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Really 9 mana. But I think I just cast this. The Warped Tusker. And I'm just going to wait on the sink into Stupor. I don't think it's good to play it as a land. I think I would like to have a little bit of an interaction. I'm potentially giving up. I could have paid 3 life to make an Eldrazi spawn with Idol, but I can still make an Eldrazi spawn. I can sack both the spawn to make this. Basically, do I want to sack an Eldrazi spawn to put 2 counters on this instead of 1? Because I'm down 1 spawn but up 2 counters, and I think that is probably worth it. They're on 6 mana now. They can't play Altasaur. They can't attack with Wrenn 6 unless they have a removal spell. All right, Deep Analysis. They're getting in there. The Altasaur is coming back later. Oh, Kozilek's Unsealing. So now when they play a 4, 5, or 6 drop, they get 2 Eldrazi spawn, and when they play a 7 drop, they draw 3 cards. Okay. Yeah, like they are definitely cooking here. I can't imagine they're attacking. I'll let them Birthing Ritual, see if they hit anything. The Writhing Chrysalis is kind of primed to be sacrificed here, though I could see them sacrificing Omo again. So Omo is not every type intrinsically. Funny. They got a Reform, which they can then sacrifice. Wow. All right. Well, let's get this Idol going here. I think that's worth it. And draw. Okay, there's a Sheltering Landscape. So let's go 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I can't quite play Fleshraker and Warp Tusker here. So I think I want to play Tusker, and I don't think attacking into Reform is all that productive. So I guess actually that makes me want to maybe play Fleshraker first. And then I can also leave up Sink into Stupor. No. Yeah, let's just play the Glaring Fleshraker like this. And then pass the turn. The thing is, playing the Warp Tusker isn't really going to get me anywhere. I guess I could attack into the Reform, and then they couldn't sack it to Birthing Ritual. They're about to draw a lot of cards with their Annoyed Altasaur here, with Kozilek's Unsealing. All right, well, we'll see how this goes. Sink into Stupor, not particularly useful in this situation. Yep, all right. Cascade, they hit Malevolent Rumble. That's not too bad. I mean, they actually might be worried about decking here. Null Elemental Blast, sure. Void Pouncer, Springheart, and Nantuko. These are all good cards. But, like, they can't really play another expensive card. There are 8 cards in their deck right now. Okay. Good luck, I guess. I'm not sure how they're planning on killing me here, but we'll see. I have my plan is to Glaring Fleshraker. At some point, I could also, whether tapped out, Sink into Stupor on the Utter Insignificance. They're at 15. So if I do that right now, yeah, they're sacking the Reform, which makes sense. They might not even be putting in a 5. They might be putting in like a 3 drop. Yeah, a Glaring Fleshraker. I would not have expected that to be in their deck. So it's an 8/8 Annihilator 2. So let's see. If I Sink into Stupor on the Utter Insignificance, then I can make a token end of turn. They go to 13. And then I play Warp Tusker, and that makes 2 tokens off Fleshraker, 1 off itself and itself. They take 8 more. That sounds pretty decent, I think. And if I draw anything to play, I also get to go kind of hard. Okay, and Idle. Make a token. And then this pings them a bunch, and then even if they insignificant-ify one of my things, next turn they still have to deal with the other one. They have to discard the hand size now. That's funny. Yeah, Brain Surge not going to get it done. Just play a land. Cast the Warp Tusker. Ping, ping, ping. Ping, ping, ping. Ping, ping, ping. And ping ping. Oh wait, not done yet. 2 more. And then I can also make a token off the idol to get even more. And I'm just gonna pass. I could animate the idol, but I don't think that really is a good plan to make. And I guess maybe I should have just main phase made a token with the Idol of the False Gods, because they could utterly they're playing Wastes in their deck. Oof. They got like I said, they got a brew going here. I guess it's like Teamer-ish. Okay, Path of Annihilation. I mean, that's a strong card. And with the Fleshraker, indeed. They're at 5. They're pretty close to being at 3. Springheart Nantuko on the Glaring Fleshraker. Okay. Wow, I might get comboed out here. This is pretty sick. Yeah, I actually really did need to make that token on my turn to make sure I got the extra ping off it. Not that it necessarily would have been enough, but we'll see. I mean, we'll see what they do. They already played their land, though. Oh, that's really weird. All right, and now they're just casting a Warp Tusker. Okay. But they're going to draw 3 cards. Okay. I mean, they are pinging me a bunch, but... So now they're going to 3 cards in deck, so they can't cast anything else big. But they can make a second copy of the Fleshraker. That goes pretty hard. I do think they're in trouble here, though. Because now I'm going to make another token. Oh, they gained a bunch of life off Path. Right, I forgot about that. That's why they played their thing. Okay, so they're, instead of being at 3, they're at 7. That's a pretty big difference. They can't really, I mean, I guess they can Birthing Ritual. I kind of do need to find something here. Okay, that could do something. Malevolent Rumble. They're at 7. Does Warp Tusker, I imagine, just kills them. Because I even mill Eldrazi Ravager. Ping, ping. Oh, that even double pings off of the Malevolent Rumble. Yeah, all right. We're just going to kill them with our Fleshrakers then. Whew. Well, they had a lot of stuff going on, but Glaring Fleshraker was a beating this game. I mean, it did so much. I could also get Eldrazi Ravager back and cast it too. So, okay, drawing Malevolent Rumble was pretty good, and that's another dub here. All right. Time for game 3 here. Karn on his inexorable march to 7 wins with these Eldrazi. I'm on the draw. Turn 2 Sage, turn 3 Idol plus Activate. And then I've got some Warp Tuskers. Unfortunately, neither of these fetch lands is a green fetch. Otherwise, it would have been perfect to do that on turn 1. But I think I will sack 1 to get a red anyway. I'm just not going to sack the fetch now. I don't need... I guess maybe I should have gotten a blue. I don't know. I like having colorless lands around. Oh, Hexgold Slith. Well, I have the hard counter to that. Sage of the Unknowable here. I can block their Hexgold Slith all day. Did draw another green card, which is not ideal. Okay. I mean, the good thing is Warp Tusker I can just cast for 7 mana, and will. Okay, Pearl Ear is a 3/4 lifelink. There's my green anyway. Enchantment spells you cast have affinity for auras, and when you ever cast an aura on a modified creature, you get to draw a card. So here I have 3, I got 5, 6 mana, so I can't cast Warp Tusker next turn, but next turn, because I drew the forest, I can cycle one of the Tuskers and activate the idol. I think that'll be the plan. This 0-4 has really done a lot of good work, like this game and last, just... not getting attacked by it is pretty good. Okay. Yeah, making that into a 4/5 sounds pretty good. Okay. And I'm going to block the Slith with the 2/4. Make an idol. Go to 16. They go to 24, but I don't really care about their life total very much. And I assume they didn't play a land. Huh. Another Warp Tusker, sure. Let's just cycle this. I don't know. Maybe I could draw something. Oh, Snapping Voidcraw. Can't cast that, unfortunately. But next turn I'll cast a Warp Tusker, and that should get me into a pretty good defensive spot. I'm going to take 6 this turn, I think. At some point, I could start chumping the Pearl Ear, but I feel like I don't need to right now. Block the Slith, go to 10, because next turn I get to play a Tusker, and then the turn after that I can maybe chump and then use the Idol or something along those lines. Oh, that was their land. I thought they had a land last turn, because Arena didn't auto pass them, so they presumably had something. All right. Mindless Conscription, sure. Draw. Oh, a little late there, Glaring Fleshraker. Oop, no, that's not what I want to play. I want to cast Warped Tusker. And if they have a removal spell for the Tusker, it is going to be kind of annoying. But I think it's got a good chance of stabilizing here. Yeah, they did have a removal. All right, I might be a little slow on the draw here. So right now I'm going to take 7 down to 3, I think. No, I'm not taking 7. I'm taking less than that. I'm going to block, Idle, sacking this, and I take 4. Idle's getting bigger too, and I go to 6, and they get a counter on their Hex Gold Slith. I don't care about that too much. Is it Warped Tusker time? Or something else? I guess I just kind of hope that they don't have another removal spell. The thing is, if I play Voidcraw and Fleshraker this turn, all I'm doing is a bunch of chump blocking. I would much rather just play the Tusker and hope they don't have a way to kill it. Because if they don't have a way to kill it, then I feel like I'm fine. Oh, okay. I'm dead now. Right? I guess I go to 1. All right. I mean, I'll let it happen, but I've got to be dead now. Yeah, I guess they just went curved out and played 2 Elspeth Conquers Deaths, which is rough. All right. The Idol of the False God's getting close to attacking, but it won't actually do anything if it does. It does mean, though, that I can maybe block with it next turn. I have to have 5 blockers. Let's see. If I play Fleshraker, then I play Voidcraw. I mean, I technically have 5 blockers here. And I can even sack these 2 to make... Oh, no, if I make a token, then it doesn't get to block. So, yeah, basically, I think I needed to be a little bit faster here. Like, I ended up being about a turn behind. Or them to not have 2 removal spells, but that's not that crazy that they did. Because they played Slith into Pearl Ear, and then Inventor, and then Mindless Conscripts, and then slammed a Johnny. All right. And assuming they don't have anything, what do I have any like positive outcomes here? I don't think I even have any good blocks. I guess Glaring Fleshraker on Inspired Inventor, Voidcraw on the 1/3, Sage on the 3/3, and then Chump, Hexgold Slith, and Pearl Ear. That's not terrible. I mean, they're gonna use some timer and then play a removal spell and kill me. But you know, other than that, I mean, Idol's going to be active after this turn too. If I can live through this turn, maybe play a Warped Tusker next turn. I wish my Fleshraker didn't have to die, but unfortunately it does. Oh, come on. I'm at 1 life. We have exactly enough blockers. Like, this can't really be... I mean, I guess if they just don't have anything, they do want to figure out, like, this is a double striker. All right. What the best blocks are. All right. Block. All right, hold on. Block. Yeah, Fleshraker blocks Inventor. Block the 3/3, and then the Voidclaw unfortunately trades for the 2/1, but I don't really have a better plan. All right. Okay, idle. Ping. And yeah, just let this happen. All right. And the idle is now going to be at 10/10. Pretty big. Okay, if they don't have a play here that's any good, oh, they don't want to play that before attacking. All right, that is fine. All right, my turn, draw. So I have 6 mana, and I need to play 2 things. Unfortunately, I can't cycle Warped Tusker and play the Snapping Voidclaw, so I think what I need to do is cycle and hope to draw a green to play the Voidclaw, or to just to draw a cheap play. All right, cheap play it is. Okay, I guess I'll pass. I mean, I'm not technically dead, but I assume I'm going to lose here. They get to give something double strike here. I have a 10/10 at least, so I have 1 good blocker. And this can still make an Eldrazi spawn after I block with it, which is pretty nice. And so let's see. 10/10 eats the Pearl Ear. Oh, really? Double striking that. Okay. And the rest of my blocks are just like terrible. Well, Sage gets at least 1 block where it doesn't die. Eviscerator's Insight. Okay, I mean they did that before attack, so now they're getting to amass 3, but that means they're not going to kill me this turn. They're going to play Inspired Inventor. Oh, are they going to put a counter on the Pearl Ear? Sure, that doesn't really work. All right, I'll block. Sack this to make it an 11/11. Well, I might as well activate it while I'm at it. Oh, I guess I actually should have sacked that land to go get an island, in case I draw Sink into Stupor. Okay, and now I guess I'll play Territory Color, and I'll sack this. Oh, I guess waiting to sack these is not that bad. I only have 2 islands left. Funny. And I'll take the Eldrazi Ravager, pass the turn. Okay. I'm glad they played this as a land. I would definitely die to that. Fetid Gargantua. Sure. So they get a 4/4. Okay. Oh, I should have... No, yeah, I should have made a token in a turn, actually. I would have lost a token, but it was just an extra counter on the idol. Graveyard, yeah. And let's cast Eldrazi Ravager. And can I attack with my thing yet? I have... No, I don't think I'm supposed to. I have 7 blockers. They have 6 attackers. Pass the turn here. Okay. I mean, I guess they can draw with Fetid Gargantua here. Oh, they're cracking Landscape on their turn. Sure. That plays. And... oh, they're just passing. All right, now this time I'm going to make an idle token. Draw. Oh, Glaring Fleshraker. Okay, let's play that. Let's play the Voidclaw. Ping them for 1. And I guess I attack with Emrakul's Messenger too. I don't really see a reason not to here. Okay. They get to Eviscerator's Insight end of turn if they want. They also haven't been outlasting the Envoy. I don't want to mouse over. It's the 2/3 in the middle there. Fell the Profane on that. Okay. I don't think making a token does anything in that case. Pass the turn. And I've got ground chumpers for days. Feels like I'm eventually going to be able to get them here. But I am at 1, so pretty much everything is going to be a problem here. All right, Eviscerator's Insight. They get to amass again. Seems pretty good. They get to draw a bunch of cards. Oh, Marionette Apprentice. And now I lose because they can attack and force chumps. As long as something dies, one of their things dies. Yeah. I'm not going to be able to beat that card. Wow. Sick game. What an ending. All right. Well, still a good start. Let's keep on cruising. Alrighty. That last match or that last game was a doozy. Had to go get a drink, get amped up for the next one. I could have maybe survived that last turn by blocking with a bunch of spawn and sacking them so that none of their creatures died, but they were at 35 and I was at 1 and they had the drain thing in play. Like, was not going to happen. I'll keep this hand. I don't have any green. These hands are just both blue-red lands, but I get to play a Sage on 2, and if I draw a green, this hand becomes awesome. So let's see if we can get a fast start here. We are on the draw. Idol of the False Gods, huh? Okay, let's just get an island, pass, and turn 2 Sage into turn 3 Idol activate is pretty good. Oh, turn 2 Void Pouncer. Okay, that's a 3/1. That's fine. I have a 0/4 to block. I drew a mountain, which is, yeah, the one mountain definitely cost me a little here. Yeah, I mean, I'll block. I think that even if they have a trick, like, hopefully I draw a forest anyway. Oh, yeah, they're spending their turn to kill my Sage. Sure. Forest? No. Let's play the Idol, and I'm not going to even sack the Perilous Landscape. I don't need double blue, and I don't even have another red to get. I'd much rather just have colorless. Oh, a Teamer land. Interesting. Oh, another blowing up my Idol? All right. I mean, if I draw a green here, I could still be fine, but this Void Pouncer is going to get me pretty fast if it's not. All right, there we go. Green, Void Craw, pass the turn. The question is, do I block with the Witch Enchanter? They might just kill my thing. Oh, okay. Well, that at least gains me 3 life, so now I get to go to 15. All right, if I draw another land, I can play a 7/5, and that's pretty big. Did indeed. And hopefully they're starting to run out of removal. They've used 2 spells so far to kill my things, and they're going to crack this and I guess get a forest. Or no. Island is more likely. Oh, they just got another mountain. Okay. I'm at 15. I would assume I want to block here if I get a chance to. Oh, they can't even attack me now? Okay. Yeah, this is looking great. Let's just draw for turn. All right, land. Do I want to draw a forest? No, because I think what I'm going to do here is cycle the Perilous Landscape. I'm getting my last island. I didn't really look. There's only one left. Oh, reveal. And then It That Heralds the End. So now I can cycle a Tusker, draw, and play It That Heralds the End here by sacking the spawn, which makes my territory color bigger, and though I'm clearly not attacking with it, and makes it so I can cast Warp Tusker or Riddle Keeper next turn. Well, I guess the Riddle Keeper I have to draw a land. Oh, if they have a way to kill my territory color, that's not great. Oh, they can deal 6 to it, and then they're going to bash me. They have another removal spell? Okay, that's a lot. Well, here's where Petrifying Meddler really does some good work. So let's go land. Let's just play Meddler and tap down the Void Pouncer, pass the turn. Okay, if they have the 5th removal spell, then then I'm in trouble. Otherwise, I think I'm doing okay. Hopefully they draw some lands over there. Scurry of Gremlins? Am I dead? I think I am. Yeah. All right. Well done. They just... I mean, Eldrazi is good, but when they just go removal spell, removal spell, removal spell, removal spell, I guess the Witch Enchanter also even counts into Scurry, which is an awesome card. That's a tough one. Let's rally, though. I think this deck is good. Like, my draw there ended up being completely fine. Turn 2, 0-4, turn 3, 1-3. And they just had, on the play, a curve into 4 removal spells. And, yeah, 5 even. That's tough. With a Scurry to finish things off. Without that, I might have even still survived. All right. Well, this hand is great. I'm on the draw still, but I have turn 2 Planar Genesis, which I'm really hoping will get me to a turn 3 Writhing Chrysalis. And then from then on, I feel pretty good. Oh, the red-green mirror. So Eldrazi. Oh, Detective's Phoenix. Wow. Okay. Land. Yeah, let's put a Perilous Landscape into play. Detective's Phoenix is pretty good, but getting to play Chrysalis here is going to really help. I mean, this card is just so absurd. I just played it on turn 3. It's just massive. Oh, they have black cards, so they could actually kill it with black. Red-green is really not that capable of killing it. Seething Landscape. I think I'm actually going to play the Eldrazi Ravager here. And I'll keep the Writhing Chrysalis back. I don't feel like attacking with that is great. I just, with my hand, I don't really want to trade. Even trading 3 for 2 doesn't sound good. Expanding Ooze. You ooze, you lose, and they can adapt this if they want. Okay, well, Eldrazi Ravager is still going to be pretty good here. I think I'm going to play the Warp Tusker over it that heralds the end, so I think I'm just going to attack with the Ravager. I guess I'm playing Warp Tusker. Could I attack with the Chrysalis? No, let's just attack with the Ravager here. Sacrifice a forest. And they're going to do some double blocking? Triple blocking. Okay, so I'm doing 6. So I think I do something like this. They're going to try to evolve the Witness, and I think I just sink into Stupor the Witness here. In response, they don't get counters. Their 2 things die, and they are off it. All right. Easy little dub. Let's keep the train rolling. All right. On the draw again, but a great hand. I mean, I don't have a big thing yet, but this is one of those games where I can just lead on Sage into Voidcraw and then save Planar Genesis to just look for something big to cast. But, oh, speaking of which, so I'm just going to go turn 2 Sage, turn 3 Voidcraw, just turn 4 Hardcast Tusker. Okay. I mean, that thing has flash, but I guess no harm, no foul. Felia's really good. They can hit for 2 by blinking my Sage, but it's probably better if they just blink their own thing here. Oh, look at that. Hit, blink the Riddlegate Gargoyle. I mean, you gotta. And they might even give it lifelink because they're going to have lots of energy here. Though I wouldn't be surprised if they still saved it. Oh, they are giving it lifelink. Okay. I do get to block at least. And this comes back in. More energy. Oh, Writhing Chrysalis. That is a nice one too. Let's just play the Voidcraw. And I could have played Malevolent Rumble and still played Voidcraw, but I don't really think I need to cast this for 1 mana, basically, is what that does, because I'd have to sack the Eldrazi spawn. I think I'd rather just save it and do it later. All right, so they're Jeskai Energy. They've got all their mana. They've got Phalia. They've got Conduit Goblin. They're doing the thing. Definitely could lose this game. So this lets you pay an energy to give a creature a +1/+0 in haste. So now Phalia is a 4/3. They're going to attack, and then they're going to blink their Conduit Goblin. Well, Warp Tusker's big, but Phalia still blinks it. Phalia is just a ridiculous card. Julie, you really don't need to do that. Here comes the Goblin. All right, draw. I guess I'll play the Perilous Landscape. And yeah, I'll cast Warp Tusker. And what I might end up doing here is, because they're going to have to blink the Warp Tusker now, I may end up blocking with the Spawn on Phalia. Nyxborn Unicorn. So that has Mentor? Jeez. Okay. This is just a... Well, you know, it's a powerful set. There's some powerful stuff going on, that's for sure. I'm getting creamed here. I think if I was on the play, I'd have a shot, but on the draw, this has just been... Like, I had a turn 4 Warp Tusker, and it's not even close. Wait. What is Felia blinking? Felia has to be blinking my Warp Tusker, right? No, they blinked. They blinked their goblin? Oops. Sorry, bro. This is not going to go well for you. Okay, give lifelink to something. I'm going to take a hit from that gargoyle because I am eating that dog. That dog has made a dog's dinner of things. All right. Well, now I go to 9, but their Felia's gone, and that puts me into a pretty good position here. They have 1,000,000 energy, but we are doing just fine. Ooh, okay. Now I get to do some things. Let's start with... Actually, I might have to sack that for red. Let's start with Malevolent Rumble. Snapping Voidcraw. The Eldrazi Ravagers go to the graveyard. 1, 2, 3. So let's take a Snapping Voidcraw. Those Ravagers go to the graveyard. I play a Glaring Fleshraker here, and then play a land, and then I'm gonna sack a token to play the Voidcraw because I'm gonna get a token back, and then I get to use Perilous Landscape in order to get a red. I'll just do that now because I want to get my mountain here, and I'm not going to attack with my big reach creature. I could still lose this game, but they just completely threw there, and that gives me a huge opportunity here. Because if the Tusker wasn't another one, okay. I mean, I actually think I'm probably fine now because I'm about to have a second reach creature, though. Wow, they're going to give it haste. So if they attack and blink the Tusker, I take a hit off the Gargoyle. But I can double block the Felia with Voidcraw and Glaring Fleshraker. Okay. And then I have some tokens to block. So, well, we'll see how this goes. I mean, they're just sending with these 3. Oh, they could have given the other Goblin haste. So, yeah, our opponent's not really making the most of their cards here, I will say. Okay, so yeah, lifelink, sure. Definitely gonna block and kill that, and definitely gonna chump there. They're gonna kill my Glaring Fleshraker, I assume, but I mean either one is pretty good for me. I'm happy with either one. Okay, and then I think I'm gonna bring back Eldrazi Ravager, sacrificing these 2. Because I'm going to have a lot of mana next turn. I'm going to take 4 here down to 5. But my Tusker is coming back. The Felia's gone. And they're at 33. But as long as I don't get like burned out, I think I'm going to be in a pretty decent spot. All right, play a land. Play Writhing Chrysalis. Cast Eldrazi Ravager. And... pass the turn. I don't think I'm supposed to attack with the Tusker, given that they have a flyer. I have 2 reach creatures now. That seems like a pretty good amount of reach creatures to have in play. And they can attack, but it doesn't do anything. I mean, they could make that thing big, but is that... yeah, they're not spending energy. Don't think they're even attacking here. And next turn, I'm going to get to hit with the Eldrazi Ravager, bring back other Eldrazi Ravager, and hit with that one too. It's going to be my plan. Oh, Territory Color? Another reach creature? I don't mind that. Let's see, 5, 6, 5. And so I guess I'm going to start by attacking with, I think, just Eldrazi Ravager. I'm going to have 3 reach creatures out, which is kind of a lot, but I feel like cycling a Dranyard Lurker, sure. I feel like with 2 Eldrazi Ravagers coming for them and drawing cards off color and having Planar Genesis, I just have all this stuff. The one thing I guess that presses me to go fast is Suppression Rays, or whatever the flip card for 3 blue-white hybrid that taps all my creatures. Like, I'll just lose to that card, so I do kind of want to get the game over with, but I think playing around them having 2 removal spells seems reasonable to me. Okay, cast that. Oh. They did not tap my mana the way I wanted them to. Right. Because I was going to tap the 2 Voidcraws and play the thing. Okay, Bespoke Battle Wagon. So now they have a tapper. But these Eldrazi Ravagers are actually going to really start pressing them here. Yeah, I should have had the 7/5 in play. That's on me. Like, auto tapper is just really bad in this set. Like, it's hard. I mean, I don't think it's like an easy task to make it be good, but it's not good. it often gets you. Okay, another Warp Tusker. Oh, that's also a good one. Let's start by going to combat. I kind of assume they're going to tap something with the Battle Wagon. Okay, they're going to tap my Tusker. Let's just attack with these two, Annihilator them twice. So they're going to have to sack like a spawn and a land or something. They could maybe sack the Nyxborn Unicorn. Oh, they're sacking Conduit Goblins. They sacked a land over a spawn last turn, but I guess it doesn't matter now. No, they don't want to do that. No. Undo. Oh, they sacked their spawn for mana. They have to sack something else. That's brutal. I don't mind winning when they make like a strategic choice, like targeting their own creature with Phalia instead of my thing, though maybe that was also a misclick, I don't know. But I kind of don't like when they just do that. That's just unfortunate. Let's see, 5, 6, 7. So let's cast Warp Tusker, making a token, and then cast Territory Colors, sacking the token. And then now I am in pretty good shape. They're at 3 permanents in play. And I have 3 reach creatures here to block. Okay. Oof. Well, we got that one. 4-2. We are still alive. And we even ranked up. Why not? Boom. Okay. We're trucking 4-2. I feel like this deck can at least get to 6 wins. Let's see. Opponent goes first. At some point, I might get to play first, too. That'll help. Because look at this hand. This hand is just great. I get to crack Seething Landscape for a blue, cast Sage into Voidcraw into these big things. Well, Fleshraker's not a big thing, I suppose. It enables good plays, though. And hopefully they don't come out the gate swinging. I don't really want to see white-green. Oh, black into Nethergoyf. Nethergoyf's a really good card, though I guess it doesn't really attack on turn 1 because it's just their graveyard, so I don't even need to worry about this. And hopefully they don't have some good self-mill to follow it up. Sorin. Okay, well, they played 2 mythic rares the first 2 turns, so that's like not an ideal scenario for me, but we'll see how this goes. Next turn, are they going to kill the Sage and extort? They've got Unstable Amulet, okay, and they're going to extort me, but that doesn't really let them attack. I mean, they can attack with Sorin because it has lifelink. I will block. And they go to 22. Draw. Oh, Wumpus Aberration. Yeah, let's just do that. Play this with colorless, and then they can't put anything into play. And then next turn, I mean, I think I'll just do the aggro Eldrazi draw. I just go Wumpus Aberration into Territory Color, and then I don't even play the Snapping Voidcraw anytime soon. Okay. Sounds pretty legit to me. They have their land. They're going to kill my Wumpus. My Wumpus here. There's a classic story. Gerard Fabiano, old school Magic Pro. He cast Demonic Consultation and named Humpus Wumpus when he had Hunted Wumpus in his deck and he couldn't remember the name. Really good. So this is a 1/1 menace. When it hits, it deals. They get a +1/+1 counter. All right. Well, that's fine. I'm going to crunch for 6 here. Then I think I just play Territory Color. And then just pressure them that way. They do get to hit me with the Slith, but that is just not that big of a deal. I feel like their removal spell, they would have killed the Wumpus last turn. Though it's possible they have one now. Nope, they're just hitting for 1. Their mythic rares actually aren't doing that much. They're both good cards. I think Sorin and Nethergoyf are both quite strong, but they do need a little bit of enabling. Okay, Twisted Riddle Keeper. I was hoping I was really wanting to draw land this turn. What do I do? I could cycle. Maybe I just do that. I cycle the Warp Tusker. Because if I draw a land here, it's pretty powerful. And let's see. That card has just been so bad. Let's just still hit for 13 and then play a Snapping Voidcraw. Okay, they're chumping. Works for me. And Snapping Voidcraw. And if I had drawn a land, I would have gotten to use the color and play the Voidcraw without having to sack. And potentially even getting, if I drew a mountain, I could have just played the Writhing Chrysalis. I guess the one drawback is I didn't get to sack my Seething Landscape to look for a mountain, but I kind of think it doesn't matter here. Rush of Inspiration, extorting me, discarding a card at random. They look like the Condor. Yeah, Arcbound Condor. Sure. I think they're just in a massive amount of trouble here. Their Slith is growing, but that doesn't really matter. And like I'm just beating the crap out of them with these 6/6 and 7/5 that I played on turn 4 and turn 5. Oh yeah. Yeah, I'll reveal that. Let's go Glaring Fleshraker. And then play Petrifying Meddler. And just tap the Etch Slith if they want to. Oh, I guess if I tap the Sorin, I guess they die. So maybe I should have done that. But I kind of feel like if they're chumping with Sorin, I feel like I'm going to win anyway. But yeah, I guess that would have been better. There's not that many removal spells they could have here. I think I'm doing just fine though. All right. And now, yeah, they've got a Dross Claw. Yeah, I mean, they have what looks like a solid red-black artifacts deck. I just think those decks are typically not as good as the Eldrazi decks. And then they can bring back Nethergoyf. Yeah, if they want to do that, they can do that. I mean, they're super dead just on board here. But I'll let them take their game actions. When you sign up for a draft, you get to take a certain amount of game actions. Unstable Amulet pings me for 1. A 1/2 Nethergoyf comes back. They pass the turn. And let's play this. Let's just cast it if I have enough. And then tap those 2. Ping, ping, ping. Attack with everything. And boom. There we go. That is another dub. We are up to 5 wins here. Let's keep on going. All right. 5-2 here. Let's see if we can get 2 more. It would be nice. I think this deck is pretty good. At some point, we'll be on the play. Maybe in our last game, because we're going to win this one. Not sure about this Emrakul's Messenger overall, but I think it might be okay. Oh, actually, I do want to play the Seething Landscape. I have a lot of colorless sources in hand, and getting a red for if I draw Writhing Chrysalis is pretty important. So if they don't have a 2-drop, I feel pretty good about this, because now I just go Sage into Voidcraw, and then I can really start popping off with Glaring Fleshraker and the other things. Molten Gatekeeper's pretty good. 2/3. It's going to do some pinging and all that. Oh, cancel. Almost played the wrong land. Let's get this Snapping Voidcraw in. And then next turn I'll have 7 mana. So I could play the Warp Tusker. Oh, they're playing Thriving Skyclaw? Okay. That card I have not minded seeing on the other side of the table. So I could just play Warp Tusker, or I kind of like, let's see, 2 colorless, 3 colorless. Glaring Fleshraker into a Snapping Voidcraw, and I don't know if I want to wait on this. I guess I'll just sack this now. I feel like I have a lot of colorless sources. Do I need double blue? Oh, I do. I have a thing or two that I need double blue for. Oh, I have an island in hand. Well, whatever. I could have gotten a green source, but this is fine. I also could have played island and sacked the token to play Emrakul's Messenger, but I think this is going to be all right. Oh, a second Molten Gatekeeper. Okay. We got some pings going. I'm going to take 4 this turn. That's not too bad. I assume they're still just getting a mountain here. And they're going to attack with the Skyclaw, use the energy, and then next turn, though, I'm going to have 5, 9, 10. I'm going to have enough mana to play every card I want. I guess if I draw another 7-drop, I couldn't play it, but I think I have enough mana to play color, Yeah, so let's start by just casting Territory Color, getting Glaring Fleshraker triggers, play a land. Oh, reveal that. Yes, and then that I can cast, and I think I can still cast Warp Tusker now because the It That Heralds the End actually breaks even on that. And then cast Warp Tusker. Look at that. Just turn 5, I cast a million mana. I cast 7, 12, 14 mana worth of spells here. And I get a bunch of triggers. And I don't think I'm going to attack with the Glaring Fleshraker here, but I do think next turn I'm probably just sending with everything. This Emrakul's Messenger looking a little bit sad here in hand. Glimpse the Impossible, sure. They glimpsed into a Cursed Mirror, which they could use to copy a Warp Tusk or a Territory Color. That wouldn't do that much. They can also Fanged Flame something, but it looks like my Warp Tusker's safe. And they're playing a land out of hand instead of playing Twisted Landscape, because they want to get those tokens. I mean, this is, if they don't play anything, that is 6 damage end of turn with the Molten Gatekeepers. But next turn, I have Emrakul's Messenger in hand, which is already a bunch of damage, and I get to attack with everything, and they're going to have to make some blocks. I could get burned out with these Gatekeepers, though, at some point. Well, let's see what they've got. I mean, this is a pretty good combo. I go to 8, but they didn't have anything else this turn, so it's not looking like they didn't have like a second glimpse. Yeah, let's cast Planar Genesis here. See if there's anything I want. Eldrazi Ravager, Warped Tusker, Malevolent Rumble. I think I take the Warped Tusker. And I want to cast, so let's cast Emrakul's Messenger. Can I burn them out with the Fleshraker here? I definitely cannot. But I can hit them for a bunch of damage. And then the Warp Tusker costs 6 mana, so I'll tap it like this. And then Warp Tusker gets to ping them for an additional, 3 damage here with the Fleshraker. And I am going to attack, since I certainly should. Could attack with everything, but then they go, let's see. If the Herald's Land gets blocked by Molten Gatekeeper, this gets blocked by Molten Gate. No. So let's attack with these two. They're at 6. I'm kind of deciding if I want to leave. Oh, I guess I have a flyer and a reach creature. Okay, I'll send with both of these then. I know they have these chump blockers, but next turn I think I still just have lethal here. Okay, I just hope they can't put 4 creatures into play, because if they can, that would be a problem. They almost want to chump with 1 Molten Gatekeeper so they can bring that one back and ping off the other one. But I guess they're going to do this instead. Do they have a spell to play here? If they have like Eviscerator's Insight or something, that would actually be pretty bad. All right. Let's hope that they don't burn me out with Molten Gatekeepers, I guess. That's the thing I'm worried about. If they had a second glimpse, they would have cast it last turn. I mean, they didn't cast anything and they had 3 mana. So that's giving me some hope here, because that would be pretty difficult to get to 4 creatures if they didn't have anything to play with 3 mana last turn. This turn they have 7 mana, but yeah, that's still going to be pretty tough. We'll see. I mean, obviously there's ways I can die. I don't think the Sarpadian Simulacrum was quite going to do it, because now they're at 6 and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 13 attackers. So they're just dead next turn if I attack with everything. Oh, Infernal Captor? Does that do it? Oh, it almost does. Because they can now steal my flyer and attack with the flyer plus the Thriving Skyclaw. So that puts me to, that puts me to 2, which means if they have another way to put a creature into play, then I die. But Molten Gatekeeper is another creature, so they're 1 short if they sack Gatekeeper and bring it back. Wow. Very close. Okay. Yeah. And then they get to bring back Molten Gatekeeper. And that pings me down to 2, 3, and then they attack me and I go to 1 here. I mean, they can attack with everything if they want. That's not really going to do too much. And I think they've already played their land. If their last card's a mountain, I have to make sure not to kill this Molten Gatekeeper. All right, so let's go to blockers. Warp Tusker blocks the Thriving Skyclaw. Glaring Fleshraker blocks that Molten Gatekeeper. Chump with a token. Block the Sarpadian Simulacrum. Okay, I think that looks acceptable to me. I go to 1. And their Molten Gatekeeper's exiled. They had the mountain, but they can't bring back the Gatekeeper because I also already killed the other Gatekeeper. So, oof, if they had a way to draw a card, that would have also worked. But yeah, it looks like we got him. All right, that was a close game, a fitting game, and like I said, we're going to be on the play for our last game here. So hopefully we'll pull that out. That was a sick game. They had some good stuff going on for sure. The Molten Gatekeeper definitely does some pretty good work. As it turned out, leaving back an additional flyer was probably better, but it did cut them off of having some mana. So, all right, we ranked up and we're ready to see if we can get to 7 wins here. Do we have fun? Yeah, you never know. I mean, I did actually have fun that game. I just, I'm always like, what are you trying to collect my data for? What is that trying to say? In any case, let's get to our last game. Here we go. We've got an opponent here. Oh, our opponent comes with Extra Cheese. That's their name. Extra Cheese. And we're on the draw again. All right, so it goes. Well, I'm going to keep this hand. I really would like to draw a 2-drop, whether that be like a Sage or... I guess I actually can't... We'll see what I draw on turn 1, but I can't draw Planar Genesis and cast it on turn 2 because I think I'm supposed to just crack Seething Landscape to put a mountain into play on turn 1 because I've got the Chrysalis here. But we'll see. If I draw Genesis on turn 1, clearly I'll play Forester Island. All right. And if not, I think I'll be all right. They played... Oh, and I have another 2-drop to do anyway. They played the Glasswing Grace as a land. Well, that's a really strong card, so they've got to be a little short on lands or need those colors. Okay, Obzon modified into Nightshade Dryad. I drew a 2-drop, just wasn't a very good one. Though, this on turn 3, because I drew Sheltering Landscape, I will get to use the Idol here. So that much is nice. That gives me something to do regardless. Though I'm pretty unimpressed with this Idol. I think, ultimately, I think I should have just cut it here. Faithful Watchdog into Hydra Trainer, yep. Oh, okay, well, I'll just play Glaring Fleshraker instead. That was a really good draw. Because now... I mean, they're going to get to hit me this turn, especially if they exert the Hydra Trainer and adapt it. They get to hit me for a lot of damage. But if they don't kill the Fleshraker, next turn I play Writhing Chrysalis into Petrifying Meddler into Twisted Riddle Keeper, and I think that puts me in a pretty good spot. But we'll see what they do. Would have been nice to be on the play this game, though I did draw the Fleshraker on turn 3, which I wouldn't have if I was on the play. Not Master. Wow, okay. And they're going to adapt it. Oh, wait, no, they can't adapt it now. Yeah, people do that a lot. I guess I'll take it. Interesting. Yeah, they just messed up there, actually. Let's go Writhing Chrysalis. Boom, token. Boom, ping you. And pass the turn. Yeah, the Glaring Fleshraker is really nice. See, that one's nice. The Idol I don't like so much, but the Glaring Fleshraker is looking pretty good. Though I guess I'm going to get to maybe... do some idling here. I mean, do they even have attacks? Writhing Chrysalis is such a beat. Oh, they get the Nightshade Dryad in. Okay. I mean, they can give something +5/+5 by exerting the Hydra Trainer, I suppose. So I guess it's going to target itself? It has to, because if it targets the Nightshade Dryad, it doesn't really work. All right, so... I think I'll just block the Hydra Trainer. It doesn't have trample or anything, no. And then sack this for a colorless, which at that point I might as well use Idol. Using a colorless and 1. Okay, Idol gets some counters, Chrysalis gets some counters, Fleshraker pings. I take 1. Yeah, I mean, we're doing fine here. I could Twisted Riddle Keeper, but I kind of feel like just playing Petrifying Meddler sounds better. And tap down the Faithful Watchdog. Ping, 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 ping. And since those are both tapped for a turn, let's hit with the Chrysalis. And I think if they take it, I'm going to use the Idol of the False Gods here, because it's only costing me 1 spawn and it's getting me a lot of triggers. Boom, and there we go. Look at that. We did some powerful stuff, and we won every game on the draw, which was nice. Or rather, we were on the draw basically every game. Not every single one, I don't think, but like a lot of them. And we got to 7 wins. So hope you enjoyed that. That was fun. I even got some golden tickets. I don't even know what those are. Let's take a look at this deck. Oh, well, it's, let's see, 17 lands and 23 Eldrazi. Yeah, that's a good deck. We've got, well, I guess Idol of the False Gods wasn't particularly good. I kind of wish I just played another Sage of the Unknowable. That's what I should have done. I feel fine about not splashing the inverts or playing Demon Inferior. I had double Petrifying Meddler, plus Twisted Riddle Keeper for interaction, double Fleshraker, triple Voidcraw, the Chrysalis, of course, the nuts, bunch of Warp Tuskers. The Eldrazi Ravagers were actually pretty good, especially with Malevolent Rumble here. And I had a lot of 2-drops. The Messenger and the Idol were my 2 weakest cards. In reality, what this deck should have looked like is just Idol out, Messenger out, Sage in, and Priest of Titania in, and just had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different 2-drop accelerants with 3 3-drop accelerants. But in any case, that'll do it for today. I appreciate you hanging out as I jump between Arena, Cube, MH3, Magic Online. But I just like playing a lot of different kinds of Magic, and of course, this channel still got plenty of cube drafts for you. Hope you enjoyed today's video. I'll be back tomorrow with another draft, and I hope to see you there. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. It helps out the channel, and you won't miss a single draft.